Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. This is a review impressions of a really cool knife that a subscriber, a channel member loaned to me that I'm super excited to check out. This is the Shirogorov Quantum. Now this is not the Ursa's line. This is the full, full production, full fancy, semi-custom, mid-tech, well, definitely above mid-tech version of the Quantum. Matter of fact, it's called the Quantum Gen 2 M390 MRBS, which means it's multi-row bearing system. All right, so this is really, really cool. I had a chance to check it out and try it out, and I need to get this back to the gentleman who allowed me to look at it. Simply a cool knife. Sorry, my dog's barking in the background if you hear that. Let's talk a little bit about the knife. The knife name is the Quantum, and the knife manufacturer is, as you can guess, Shirogorov. And the designer, I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys know some of the Shirogorov people. I don't know who they are. I don't know who does all the designs and all that for them, but it's cool. It's cool. If you know, post it down below. And if I remember and I can find out, I'll post it in the comments. But really, really stinking cool knife. So let's talk about the materials. This is titanium milled scales, and these are phenomenal. You can see all the pattern, the details that are in there everywhere. It's really, really phenomenal stuff all around. Back spacer, very detailed with a little lanyard loop there and everything. The clip is amazing. The screws, a flat head, there's a custom tool that they have. It's very expensive, but flathead screwdriver, right? Just make sure it's coated or something. I put tape on there, maybe electrical tape. It'll work really well. It is a flipper. It has a little fuller that actually does work. Let me see if I can get in it. Yeah, it works. It's a smaller fuller. It's not like some of their other lines out there, but it does really work. Beautiful, beautiful action. Wonderful, wonderful knife. The blade steel is M390 blade steel. This beautiful, it looks like a bead blasted, but it's not. It's like a bead, I don't know what you want to call it. It's almost like pearlized. I've heard people use that term before, and I can see that. Beautiful chamfering. I mean, all around, there's no sharp edges anywhere. That the blade is just ridiculously sharp, and comes a beautiful flat grind to a very thin edge. Very, very sharp. Really, really wonderful. It is a frame lock. You get a good 15% engagement there, but it's solid in there. No blade play whatsoever. When you drop it, it is just beautiful action. And that's the multi-row bearing system that they have in there, which is phenomenal. And let's see here, can I do it left-handed? I think I did it earlier. Let's see. Yeah, I can get in there. So it's not my knife. I want to be very careful with it, right? I haven't cut anything with it. This is not a cheap one. This is probably the most expensive knife I've reviewed on the channel to date, and I'm super excited to have the opportunity to do that. And so very, very, very cool knife. Now, it is on multi-row bearing system, so that's cage ceramic kind of system. But I think if I remember correctly, the way Shirogorov does it, is they're in these little cage, but they're not locked in there. You take it apart, you could actually take the bearings out if you had to, right? So it's different, but it's very, very, very smooth. All right, so how does it open? It's a flipper. And the thing that's very known about Shirogorovs is that leverage they have. Very high flipper, and it seems almost minimalistic, but man, it gives you just a very strong flip. You see that? Just absolutely ridiculously wonderful. And then they have this beautiful ramp. Once it goes over, there's this ramp. It doesn't hit that stop right there, and it's usually, you can't see it, but it's in where the blade stop pin goes and locks in there. There's a ramp, and that's where the detent ball just glides up over that very, very slowly, and you can see that on the lock bar. Let me see if we can see that. All right, so here's the lock bar, and as it goes up slowly, you see it's just a very slow kind of progression going up on that, which is really, really cool. Dead nut centered, it has to be. Look at that. I mean, that's perfect utilization from blade to handle ratio. Get so much blade from the handle. It's ridiculous. Now, this is a great knife for very large hands. You can trigger, choke up. So, double extra large, triple extra large hands, no problem. Definitely a big knife for sure, right? So, it opens and closes just beautifully, beautifully. Now, I would call this a Persian blade because it actually has a little cut to it. So it's not fully a straight back, but it's definitely what I would call a Persian. So that's typical of, I think, Shirogorov, their styles. Very, very cool. All right. No coating on this. This one doesn't have any sort of anodization, but it does have a lot of cool milling. And if you want to let's take a look at some of that really detailed milling that's going on there. It is pretty phenomenal. Really is. You can see all that details everywhere. The little Shirogorov logo there. Very minimalistic billboarding on the blade. You can see that blade comes a beautiful, very sharp edge. It's got some nice jimping, which is really ample, works really well up there. Yeah, and you can see over here and over here, just beautiful, right? So let's zoom back out. All right, so that is the Shirogorov right there. Let's go ahead and do some measurements on this knife. All right, let's see what this guy weighs. Now, it is a pretty big knife, so 4.3 ounces, not bad. 4.3 ounce, there we go. All right, so let's turn that off. 4.3 ounces, and let's go ahead and get some measurements on the length on this guy. We'll go from right there, and where's my measuring tape? Here we are. All right, so there we go. So as you can see, it's not a small knife. Going from here, it's just shy of 9 inches. I'd say it's 8 and maybe 7/8, maybe 15/16 of an inch, right? That's pretty big. The handle itself, the grip area where you get, it's about 4 1/4. If you do the finger choke up, you'll almost get 4 3/4 of an inch. The blade length from the tip to the handle, if we're gonna go from here to here, is about just over 3 3/4. So I'd say maybe 3 and 3/4. So 3/4 would be 6/8, so maybe 7/8. Yeah, so maybe 3 7/8. It's a pretty big blade. Total cutting length is going to be just over 4 inches. So it's a very, get a lot of cutting performance out of that one for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the blade stock thickness on this particular knife. All right, so we'll go ahead and measure that. All right, so blade stock thickness on this guy is 134 thousandths of an inch, so 0.13 inches. So that is not a small, it's not thin, it's not gigantically thick, it's not Medford capacity, right? You know, it's not that gargantuanly thick, but it's not super thin. But for the length of the blade, that's not bad at all. So is this a budget, regular, high-end, or custom knife? Well, this is well over $600. I mean, this knife, when I was looking it up, I saw it for around $1,500, probably more. This is Gen 2, I'm sure, get a new one. I mean, we're looking 1,000 plus knife, minimally. I'm gonna guess it's $1,500, $1,200, $1,500, maybe more. So this to me is very, definitely well above in the custom area. Some people might call it mid-tech because they use some machining and different things, and the only way it could be custom is if it's all hand forged with a hammer. Whatever. If that's your definition, call it mid-tech, right? But I call it custom, so there you go. Purpose, EDC, hard use, or collection piece? Well, to me, this is definitely one of those collection pieces. I mean, could you hard use a Shirogorov? Absolutely. It's absolutely can be used hard use. There's no question about that. Could you EDC it? Absolutely. I don't know if the user actually EDCs this knife or not. I know a lot of people who do EDC their knives like this, and even well more expensive knives than this version. But it's absolutely a collection piece as far as I'm concerned. Now, you could collection piece and still EDC it. You just may not EDC it everywhere, right? You may just EDC it out on a nice date, you know, go to church, whatever. That's kind of thing, right? Could you hard use? I mean, it absolutely could be hard used. It is definitely, it could definitely be a workhorse. There's no question about this. Just because it's expensive, mid-tech, and all this stuff doesn't mean you can't hard use it. Ergos and feel, overall design, handling, opening, and closing methods. It's a Shirogorov. It's ridiculously phenomenal. It's smooth. The flipper is just, I mean, this is how you want a knife to flip. And if you're going to have one, if it only flipped, this knife would do it well. And it would be a great knife anyways. The fact that it has a little bonus small fuller there, that to me is just, it makes this Shirogorov just so much nicer, because I had an E-Knives version, the budget version of it, and it didn't have all that. And this is just really, really nice. And so the overall design as far as opening and closing makes it really, really wonderful. So you can see there's chamfering all the way around. Some of this is rounded. It's not even chamfered. It is fully a rounded corner. So the comfort on here is just ridiculously comfortable. Even this right here, there's nothing that digs in. There's nothing that's uncomfortable. It bites in here. When you hold it, it's in the groove of your hand. There's no hot spots anywhere. Even right here, everything is nicely rounded all the way around. The access to the lock bar, you can see that is beautiful. It's cut away here. You got a little kind of texture on here, which makes this access just really, really nice. The flipper is just smooth. It's not a guillotine. It doesn't like fall on your hand, but it's very, very controlled shut. So opening closing is wonderful. So fidget factor, it's a flipper, but it does have a fuller, and that works really well. So I'm going to give it a 5. 5 out of 10 because of where this falls into. I mean, I feel weird reviewing a knife because this kind of gets, I mean, it's not a full custom, but I mean, it is a production mid-tech semi whatever custom, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. You know, maybe we'll have to come up with a new category for the channel. I don't know. But I'm going to call this mid-tech semi-custom, whatever. But I would say a 5 out of 10 for the fidget factor. Now, out of that, how does Shirogorov handle that? Well, it's a 10. I mean, it's 100%. Shirogorov, their quality, the way they work their knife is just ridiculous. It's phenomenal. It is insane. It's how you want something to work, and they do it well. So yeah, it's 100%, not even 95, it's 100%. Everything works really, really well, right? If you're going to do that, see, here's the ramp. And so, you know, if you're thinking about that's a double clutch, I don't treat it as a double clutch because it just goes right past that, right? In a way, if you want to drop it and you don't want to worry about guillotine, you can just go past that, and you don't have to like, you can just kind of let it go past it like that. Or you can just do that and drop it. It's up to you, right? Because, you know, it doesn't really catch right there to clear it, but you could sort of catch it right there, like, you know, right there, and then let it go. So anyways, I think opening and closing is phenomenal. I'll give it 100. It's wonderful. Do I recommend this? Well, absolutely. If you got the money to buy one of these, yeah, absolutely recommend it. It's phenomenal. It is a ridiculously wonderful knife. And to the subscriber, the channel member out there who allowed me to check this out, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am incredibly humbled and honored. You allow me to try this out. I've kept it at the desk. I've just enjoyed picking it up and flipping it like this, just to have the sheer pleasure of trying that. I haven't used it to cut anything. I haven't done anything else with it. It's just been a sheer joy and a sheer pleasure to use. So thank you very much for allowing me to check this out. It was a real honor. So thank you. Yeah, definitely if you can get one of these, I would highly recommend it. Hey, if you found the content of this channel fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the channel really helps out. It allows the channel to grow, produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who's out there who watches the videos, who likes the videos. I sure appreciate you. Thank you very much. And if you haven't already, hit that notification button down below so you can also be notified of future content like this video. And to all my channel members, a big, huge shout out. Thank you. Appreciate you guys so much. For those of you who've been there since the beginning, those who've joined along the way, and those who are recent, I sure do appreciate you and thank you. I'm honored and humbled to have so many channel members out there. And you know, it was a way for me to say thank you. I do a once a month channel member giveaway. It's very exclusive, and I make sure it's a nice giveaway. And then I also do, if you're a brand new channel member and you haven't emailed me, or if you've been a member for a while and you're still a member and you haven't emailed me with your name and address, I'd love to send you a sticker. Just email me and I'll do that. So that's my way to say thank you, and just to let you know I appreciate you. But please don't anybody feel like you have to become a channel member. I appreciate you just watching the video, being a subscriber. I'm honored by all of that. So I just know some people really want to be channel members, and I want to say thank you. And you know, we have a live stream every Monday, and we still do a regular giveaway. So everybody's invited to join and be a part of that. And if you haven't checked me out already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.